Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Guile treatment. Bit of a skeleton crew this week, just Chris and I.
Yeah, couldn't.
Mhm.
Barrett's at work. He's gonna get internet, and then our backup plans. Someone needed to test for something, and so he's gonna come on in a couple weeks. And I think we're tired of. I think Tim's tired of seeing us, so I didn't tap Tim for this. So I figured give him a week off, and then we can bring him back if we need to. So
yeah. Is he flying to California?
I have no idea. Nah, I doubt that, but you know.
But yeah, I guess. So you had Barrett's picks.
Yeah.
This weekend.
Yeah, Barrett's picks for the Mountain View PTC, hot off the press. Actually, I had to ask him like 7 times. So, attendance, he has 20 people. Mind you, that's kind of low in my opinion, but I picked 22, so I also picked low. So, yeah. His winners were Huitzel 2 and Quan Chi 2, because why the fuck not? I think that's what he said. And then he had 1 diversity, so not too bad. He has diversity numbers tied with Tim, and everything else is pretty much no one picked the same characters. So we're all, it's all going to be a mixed bag. So we'll see what happens. That happens this Saturday and Sunday, so we'll see. I doubt there'll be a stream. I don't know. Who knows? Out there in California in the Wild Wild West, if they have electricity and stuff. So I guess we'll.
They apparently have wildflowers.
Yeah, wildflowers. Ooh, that's neat.
They have like a really big like wildflower season this year because of all the rain.
Oh, well, pack your Zyrtec and your other stuff that you're anti-inflammatory for your nasal passages, kids. So, I guess we could start off the show. I had a Premier Store event this weekend at Gaming Goat Chicago. It was a wonderful event as always, so thanks for hosting. We had a couple guests. Jeremy Ray came in from Michigan, and Barry Everson drove up from, I think he's staying near St. Louis right now because of work.
Okay.
Jeremy was in town because Keith and Andrew Alexa had a Weiss Schwartz tournament in the area, so he just tagged along and set it up with Eric there and Thayer that so we can get the entire event set up. So I played Cassie Cage for the first time ever. I learned how to play the deck in the tournament, so that was kind of fun. Jeremy ended up winning with a ordered Guile deck where it was Tanner's monstrosity that I guess Tanner's just doesn't have time to test or anything, so he was just playing. He just wanted to test a few cards out. Fun fact, the cards he wanted to test out, he never got to play. Like, yeah. Like, he had Spirit Form in his deck, and he always built it on turn 1 and never saw it again the entire time. Because, you know, I guess with Guile, it's not that bad, I guess. So,
yeah, I mean, if you can reduce speed a lot, plus, like, Spirit Form is great if you can figure out how to pass that block.
Exactly. So I went 1-0-2, a lot to my own shenanigans, to where I was trying to read cards and figure out interactions.
You just giving too many people shout-outs?
Yeah, you know. Yeah, you got that right. Got that right. Round 1, I faced Robert Newman playing like a weird... Like, he played his Goro deck from the PTC, but he kind of changed up some cards. I beat him in 2, and then I played the mirror match in round 2 with Barry Everson. We drew. We went to game 3. I left him at 2. I just couldn't hit my last attack. Couldn't check it. And then game 3, I tied with Eric Molina playing his Johnny Cage deck, where I screwed up and I got Coffee Samba multiple 5. So yeah, that was fun. He multiple 5 Coffee Samba on me. Yeah, it was bad. But yeah, so, and then game 3 in that match, I never drew Akimbo or Nutcracker, so I was just trying to poke him to death with Glow Kicks and Kersplats, which kind of sucked, but anywho.
Nice.
It was a fun event. We all hung out, got me and Jeremy and Trent and Aaron from the area. We picked Jeremy up at his hotel, got some food, and then went to the event, tested some, I tested my Taki versus his Keelik after the event. That was pretty fun. Keelik is pretty dumb. It's pretty dumb. Yep.
I mean, he's got all of, like, one ability, right?
Yeah, but it's still, though, it's pretty dumb. Especially if he was able to throw Flying Spear multiple times in one turn. That was pretty neat. But Taki did okay. I think I need to change up her attack lineup some more. She's just not putting through enough damage, so playing her off of Evil. So I think I'm going to move over to, I'm going to try out Assassination Attempt and From Hell, I think. And try to get off the 3 damage move thing, like with Fog Blanket and stuff. I was just trying out.
Well, Fog Blanket isn't 3 damage; it's 3 speed.
It's 3 speed. I meant 3 speed. The 3 speed stuff is well. Technically, I could still play it because From Hell is a 3 speed move. So maybe it's just But Fatal Violet, that card's awesome, dude.
Which one?
That's the one that gives powerful 6 on reversal, and you can just blow people up randomly with it. It's pretty cool. But yeah, it was fun. Had a good time. Glad, shout outs for everyone to come out. Thanks for coming out, Jeremy, and I'm glad I was able to test some stuff against you, throw some stuff at the wall. So it was great. So yeah, on to our main topic. It's going to be kind of a quick show tonight because it's only us two. We're going to talk about the Darkstalkers tins. Brought to you by Alex Marco. He messaged me, said, hey, we got a topic. I was like, oh yeah, we did one for the Mega Man tins. Why not one for the Darkstalker tins? They were the entire reason I actually got into the game because I liked the Darkstalkers arcade game and was a Morrigan fanboy because that's who I mained in the game. So I saw the tins and I was just like, sweet. Then like 9 months later, they came out. So yeah, but to much the chagrin, those things I think were stuck on a dock in LA for because they had the dock strike then, I guess. And
sure.
Yeah, it was bad.
I wasn't playing.
You were playing, but I guess they were stuck on a dock in LA for like 3 weeks before they got to Jasco, before they were able to be shipped out. So yeah, it was nuts.
The more things change, right?
Yeah, the more things stay the same. You got it. But yeah, it was our first, I guess our first Jasco era Darkstalker set because there had some previous that in Legacy and stuff like that, but. It was a smaller cast of characters. It wasn't like the Felicia and the Talbane. It was Lilith, Morgan, Huitzel, Acaris, Donovan, and Sasquatch. Right? Yeah, those 6, I believe. Right? 6, 7, whatever.
6. Or no, it should have been 8.
Let me see here.
There should have been like Lilith and Morgan, and then there would have been 3 characters in each pack.
Let me get to those guys. I think I'm missing one.
Okay.
Oh, Queen Bee. Yeah. And Victor. Yeah, no one really cares about those guys, but yeah.
Dude, Victor's awesome.
Except for Marco back here in town. He loves Queen Bee and Victor, so, he's going to be sad when this set goes. But anywho, I don't know, overall, the set was kind of a success because we had a band character out of that, which was kind of crazy.
Huitzel won singles nats.
Yeah,
so.
one singles nats, one team's nats too. So yeah, he was kind of just insane. Being able to pop off 1 million damage, like not responsively. I think you couldn't respond to it very much.
Well, in some ways, like he's kind of like Raptor, right? Where, but instead of like Raptor's R remove 2, you get 2 speed or 2 damage. Yeah. And didn't Huitzel was like what? I guess I could look it up.
I got it right here.
What like during the?
It was after the
damage step.
No, it was after the block step before damage. You got to do. You flipped top 4. Your attack gets X damage. X equals the difference between the highest and lowest controls among the cards discarded. So you
basically would just run a bunch of 6 checks, run a couple 2 checks, and
you'd get massive damage. Plus 4 damage. Yeah, and that was kind of, I think, some of the reasoning behind it because you didn't know what you were going to get smacked with. If you didn't want to block. So.
The other issue was obviously like you could just pitch a character and then
draw 2 cards.
Draw 2 cards. So he was, he was
an 8-hand size character,
an 8-hander that was on 26 vitality life. So
he had 27 actually, 27.
I meant 6-hander.
Oh, 6-hander, yeah, and he had Void. So at that time, Void was pretty powerful with the flash. He had the Miska support with the flash attacks too.
Honestly, in a lot of ways, like if you look at Huitzel. It's very similar to like some of the stuff recently. Obviously he has like Earth and Fire and does like some of that self mill. We see on like Perot, on Jet, Goro, like that kind of stuff. So
yeah, I think he would fit in right about now. I think you could just. Well, they did reprint him, but they made a version 2. But I think version 1 would definitely love to play Missile Launcher. So but yeah. I would say what what was the card? Poldemagogen. That card, Power Struggles, Power Split. A whole mess of cards out of the set, I think, are going to be thoroughly missed by a lot of people.
I think it's interesting. I mean, there's a bunch of cards that I feel like saw a lot of play, really kind of like up until MK came out.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, like with Death Spike, I mean, you saw a lot of those pieces that, you know, just like
Thrill Battle. You saw that.
Yeah, I mean, Thrill for Battle, Poldemagogen, both in like large amounts.
Yeah.
Because it was still sort of like the death wall was still kind of a viable thing. Maybe it still is, but nobody's doing it. Yep. And then I think he ran probably a couple like power splits, right? Just because like what's her face Twinkle was still there, so you wanted like momentum dumps.
Sure.
And that's one of the better ones. You know, it was just ready this and they commit one. Sure.
Yeah. Yep. So. I know we were talking pre-show about conflicting ambitions. That used to be like a staple on two of those symbols for a long time before they printed other good cards. Quickly got replaced in Water and Chaos lists with Design for Combat. So, because you didn't want your opponent to draw cards. I forgot the second ability on that card. Flip this attack. If the attack deals damage, each player chooses one card in your opponent's discard pile, and that opponent shuffles the chosen card back in their deck. You said you got to use that card.
I used that.
Yeah? Can you give us? Can you elaborate?
I was playing some casual games with Slam in Atlanta a couple years ago.
Sure.
And he was playing Jeremy Ray's Jeremy Ray deck, and I was playing a Cutman deck. And I triggered it on like a throw to like remove, like to shuffle back in like a head crush or something.
Oh,
so
sure.
you couldn't just chain those together.
Okay.
So,
cool.
Yep.
I know Lilith saw a lot of play. I know like Sasquatch, you said Sasquatch won a couple of turbo events, or you know, with Turbo Worlds coming up.
I mean, Sasquatch, like, Piglet was topping some events with him when like, Street Fighter came out.
That's
so,
true. Yeah,
like, he sort of had a bit of a resurgence as well.
Did he take Sasquatch to finals at a Rochester PTC?
Yeah, he did. He lost to Jeremy Ray.
Jeremy Ray playing Keith
Disbro.
Yeah, that's right. Playing a power creep cash grab champ card. We love you, Keith. But like Glacial Assault is still seeing play today.
Yeah, I mean, just like Sniper Joe list.
Yeah.
And I feel like you see the Tribal Protector also, like maybe Sniper Joe, maybe like, I mean, you could run into like Goro or Vicious depending on like what you're doing with those lists. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of these cards that still sort of like make their way into lists. So.
Didn't Scott run a dying race in his Airman deck that he topped at Nats because that was the only way he could technically trigger Stretch Kick?
I mean, there was. I think it was that, and like it was bridging. Just like copies like 5 and 6 of bridging the races.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah. So that's I played Deadly Needle in some decks just for momentum hate because the symbols didn't have a whole lot at the time. So that was something that I was playing all, I think. Yeah, I was playing all Ryu, I believe, and that would be a way to stop people from hating on me or blowing me up with momentum dumps. So, Killing Dinosaurs, Del Walking.
Killing Dinosaurs is no good,
but it got play. It saw play. Walking Weapon saw play too, just because it was able to cancel your opponent's first ability. Played, even though it might have just been a throwaway one, but it made them burn something, I guess. But it gave you 3 speed too, right? 2 speed. Yeah. I
mean, honestly, I would think those got play just based on the fact that you were running like Weetzel with flash attacks.
Yeah, for sure.
So. Moon
Tracer. That was a fun card. More often than not, people didn't block it because it was 4 damage, you know? But you got 2 speed on your next one. I really wish Morgan was better. But I did play her. Story time. My first PTC ever. I went to Worlds a month beforehand and played Vespira for my first ever like official UFS event. she got banned shortly after that. So I picked up Morgan because I wanted to play Morgan because that's the whole reason why I started the game. So I took Morgan on Evil to Michigan PTC with like Ice Slashers, Vokes, stuff like that. I basically piled in a bunch of tin cards because I didn't have a lot of cards at the time. So I was playing like Ice Slasher and Moon Tracer. I played Shell Kick because I loved that card. I don't know why, I just did. It was just great. Went 2 and 3 for my first real PTC. That's where I met Miles Legendary Wolf Tyler playing his Terry Bogard theme deck. Yep, yeah, he's playing his Terry Bogard theme deck. Yep. Yeah, that was fun. That was fun getting to know everybody. I remember I went 2-0, and then I faced Andrew Alexa playing Gutsman. Boy,
Nice.
did I get blown up. I had no idea who this guy was.
What was he on? Was he on Evil?
I want to say he was probably on Evil. Yeah, I think so. I don't honestly remember, but because he might have been on Evil because Cursplat wasn't out yet.
Yeah, I mean,
so
a lot of people would sort of like talk about that just for like Navo, like you still had reversals, and at that point I would have presumed that the Tide stuff was still around, so you had like Chasm Buster and everything, which certainly good.
Yeah, but yeah, he blew me up, and then I lost to Andrew Force playing Lilith off of Void, and then I lost to Kerry Bennell first, and then I lost to Andrew, then I lost to Andrew Force. Kerry Bennell's playing Mature. And I didn't revoke an enhance where I thought she might have had one more attack left, and I should have just revoked it anyways, and I would have lived and killed her in the backswing, but I didn't know any better because it was my second event ever. And I'm still bad, kids. So,
How many years ago was this?
This is like, I want to say like 20. When did it was right before Rulers of Time. Oh, it was after Rulers of Time. It was right after the Darkstalker tins came out. So whenever the tins came out. That was legal. Let me look up one of the cards and I can tell you. 2013. So that was 2013. So 6 years ago. Yeah, and I'm still bad. So whatever. But yeah. But Morgan's seen some. She's seen some play. I know Tim Keefe topped in the Schaumburg PTC a long time ago with her playing like a death variant with like Thunder Beam and stuff like that, where you would give it speed and change its zone and stuff like that. So
I know. I think I once asked Tim Keefe, or either I asked him or someone did, and they said, well, like, when do you, like, play Morgan's Enhance? Because that was sort of always the thing, right? Is you were just like, like, it costs you an attack in your hand for +2/+2.
Yep.
And, like, I basically told people, I was like, you just don't really bother with that until, like, they have to block it or they die.
Sure.
Because then it's just like extra speed, they have to commit more stuff to do it, and like so on, right? And his feedback on that was, like you play Lilith's Enhance, or you play Morgan's Enhance when you don't care if they block it or not.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? It's like, so you play her Enhance when you literally don't care what they do.
Yeah, for the most part, so
cryptic as always.
Mysterious. That one is very mysterious. But yeah, it's gonna be. I don't know if it's bittersweet to see these cards go. Like the Mega Man tins. I think the Mega Man tins were loved more. I think people liked those tins more than these tins. Maybe because of just the characters. I don't know.
I feel like these are better. If that makes like
these were back when
I feel like the Mega Man tins were more of like an intro.
Yeah, these were like the step up from the Mega Man tins. These were a little more complicated, not complicated, but they were a little more advanced.
Also, these did come out in late 14. So
did they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It says 2013 on the card, so I don't know. Whatever. I don't.
That's how long it took.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Wow. But yeah. Well, I'm kind of happy to get Soul Calibur in. Some new stuff, some new characters. These characters didn't see a lot of play, outside of locals. We did some Darkstalkers events here in town, and I think a lot of people are glad to see Anna Karis go. So, but we get Aswell now, so I don't know if
it took him so long to do anything.
Yep.
And now he's gone.
Now he's gone. Pour one out for you, Anna Karis. But Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of. I think we'll probably get another Darkstalker set. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't. Technically, we kind of did with Street Fighter versus Darkstalkers, but
yeah, I mean, it honestly just sort of depends on what they want to do with their licenses, right?
Yeah, we may get DLC of them. The next thing,
maybe,
whenever it happens.
I would imagine that we probably won't.
Yeah.
I think they have bigger licenses, to be honest. Like,
true.
I mean, just between like Street Fighter, MK, and Soul Calibur, like those are all sort of like premier, like old school, licenses. I mean, and like you can say that Darkstalkers was too, but Darkstalkers was always kind of one of those sets where it was like we've already done like the primo things. Now we're digging like into like the deeper cuts of fighting games. You know that. Whatever it was, like Samurai Showdown, like even like King of Fighters, you know, like the SNK stuff, like that was always sort of like after like the Soul Calibur, after they'd already like beat up like Soul Calibur and Street Fighter like a million, you know, they're like, all right, we need something new.
MK11, here we come.
Yeah. So
7-hand size Johnny Cage.
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be like terribly surprised if we just really don't see a lot more of like Mega Man or Darkstalkers like for a while, or maybe ever.
I would hope that we would get some new Mega Man characters. I really do. We have Battle for Power still, but that is in the past design. But I would totally see. I could see maybe not like a designated set for them, but maybe like a Capcom All Stars where we get like 10 characters, like Mega Man. You know, a mixture of Mega Man. You know, like
possibly
stuff like that. You know, I don't know. We need that Clown Man. So
I mean, I just don't think it moves product like the other licenses do.
Sure,
and maybe it does. I mean, I don't know what the sort of like casual scene is for like that kind of stuff.
Sure, yeah.
MK. I mean, I know Mega Man fans are pretty crazy about Mega Man.
They are. They're very, very crazy. They are for sure. Yeah, I don't know. So what car, like, do you have a favorite out of this tin set that you're going to miss? Like, that was a go-to, like, when you were always building stuff?
I mean, I don't know. Of these cards, like, the stuff that I probably ran the most were things like Power Struggles, Land of Mackay.
Oh, yeah, that was a good card, too.
Like, stuff like that. I mean, I guess if you're talking about like a pet card, I mean, you know, I always enjoyed trying to figure out how to play like Versatile Wings, but you know, with Iceman gone, like I haven't put that in a deck since.
Nah, I understand. I always wanted to make Shadow Blade work, but the Morgan 5-diff.
The 5-diff?
Yeah, because I always thought that was the coolest thing. It's like you burn them and you gain, and then if they don't block it, they still take damage because it's a low. But it had no block on it, so it was really bad for a 5-diff. So if it was a 4-diff, then you could probably, you know, I've always wanted that card to be really good. But I always kind of reverted. I always like when I built my Robert Garcia Death Kicks decks back in the day, I'd always throw a couple copies of Shell Kick in there and then immediately take them out because it usually wouldn't work very well. So, but I love to play Shell Kick. So Shell Kick was I liked a lot of her attacks, but those two are my favorite for sure. Because I know, like I've played Heel Slash before just because it was a kick.
I played that. Yeah. I mean, I played that as like a 1-up in Gutsman. It had a +1 mid block, and it was a 3-diff, 4 damage move.
Yeah, it had stun on it too, so which is even crazier. But what else? Like Beauty Can Overcome. That saw some play, I think, and something. It was in a list, wasn't it?
Shane recently was still running that in like Devora.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yep. I ran Dream Thief for the longest time until someone told me it was really bad, and I'm like, oh yeah, it is.
Hey, Dream Thief won me a game. So.
I needed low blocks, man, and that was like one of the primo spam low blocks for life at the time.
I mean, Dream Thief is not great, but
no. Yeah. Compared to now, yeah, but yeah.
I mean, compared to ever.
Yeah, okay, for sure. What was it? Her one card, Hedonist, saw play in Life Pharaohman decks. Because you're making your opponent pass checks, and if they Because I know Emerson played it in his version. He'd always no, Justin Pardo played it in his too. Because you're always making your opponent make checks, and they're not going to pass them all the time. So you're able to string some more attacks along, which is cool. So I don't know. It's gonna be sad. Blizzard Sword. Oh man, Blizzard Sword. I would say
like Blizzard Sword is probably the card that would be like the nicest to have like
back
carry over into the next set.
Sure. Sure.
But yeah, I know some people are like, "Oh man, like Blizzard Sword," you know, because like that's the thing too is obviously like some of this stuff got like reprinted in Platinum, and you know, we already lost sort of like the Mega Man stuff, and now like you know, obviously Beast Tin stuff is going too. So
Platinum is pretty much at half power right now. So you know, because we have the Mega Man, Rise of Masters is
pretty much because it was pretty much just like Rise and Warriors of the Night, right?
Oh my God, we're gonna have Rise leaving next. Oh dude, what are we gonna do? Seriously, the Snack Man, the Dust in the Wind.
Is like, I mean, who really even gets played from that though? You know,
yeah,
like,
I know.
I mean, there's fun stuff, but like,
yeah.
I guess that's the thing is like there aren't that many events. I feel like where it's like people are running like fun decks.
Yeah, that's mostly.
I think it's like so easy to just build like a good deck that you know, you like even if it's not like great, like it's still gonna like mess up people that are just like, you know, clowning around.
Yeah, I know.
You know, we've talked about like Ringman. I mean, there's like some attacks that he could run because like they're really big, like they're really difficult.
Guilty Throne.
So like he can, you know, Guilty Throne. Whatever the one for Guile is, like the 6 diff.
The murder baby card.
Yeah. I mean, just you know stuff like that. Right, like Snake Man. But the thing is like just a lot of those characters. I mean, even Mega Man 2, right? I mean, there's some cards that like he could play, but you could just play Donovan.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it just ends up being better. Yeah.
I don't know. It's sort of rare, I guess. Like looking at these cards, you see so many cards that got played like a lot, and then you sort of start thinking about it, and it's like really outside of like, I mean, obviously Anacharis, but really outside of that, I feel like most of that stuff was just things that got run by like Death Spike.
Sure.
And that's it.
Man, I'm gonna miss Power Struggles leaving, man. That was some primo throw hate. I mean, there.
That's true, but you do get the new
Demon Realm Awakening.
What's her name one?
Yeah.
No, well, I mean that, but the Sophitia card.
Oh yeah, but those aren't
just different symbols.
Different symbols, yeah. But Demon Realm's covering life and death, and then an Evil. I don't know if I even had. I don't know. Evil has Ophid right now until that set goes away in the next set. So, wow, we're gonna lose Ophid. Holy shit!
Nobody wants that card anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. I put it in. I always put it in, then end up taking it out. So
yeah, you know. I mean, I guess that's for me is because I basically started between Rise of the Masters and Where's the Night?
Where's the Night? Yeah.
So like we're actually like we're really getting the cards now that like you know basically like I've been playing like you know not necessarily like since they came out but like almost
sure yeah.
So
I remember when those sets came out, the boxes were like real cardboard. They weren't like the thin like single sheet of paper the boxes are now. They were like thick ass shit.
Well, you know, it sounds like wasted money.
Yeah, I guess. But
yeah,
still,
I mean, like that's the thing is like obviously when like the Red Horizon stuff like went and came back and went like you know, that was just sort of like, oh, cool, like these old cards that, you know, I never played with the first time. Sure. And, you know, so like there were other people that were just like, oh my God, like these cards are back. Like,
Me.
And even like the King of Fighters stuff, like by the time it was gone, it was just sort of like, okay, like whatever, you know. Yeah. But like, right, these are sort of the cards as they start to cycle where it's like, oh man, like,
yeah, it's gonna be weird because Dust in the Wind's leaving. Not that people play it that often, but just because you know those symbols aren't as good anymore. But that's still gonna suck.
What are you talking? Like Void is fine.
Void's good. No, Void's fine. But I don't even think I like. Well, I don't play it in my reptile deck because I don't.
I mean, people are getting like you know excited about Air again with like Taki and Maxi. I mean, Maxi can like re-ready Dust in the Wind if he wants to. Like, no, there's. That's
or you just ready it with Wandering Pirate. Oh, dude, quick segue. So I was testing with Mark and Tim last night, right? And I was playing my updated Cassie with Wandering Pirate. and Mark stunned. Oh, sorry, I use Shadow Inheritance on a block, right? And then he stuns me. I commit Wandering Pirate, ready Shadow Inheritance, and then committed to block again. And then I died on his 5th attack. So, but still, though, it was still.
It was super cool.
It was still really cool because it was like the first time I'd gotten to use those cards, so I was kind of like working out like the interactions. And man, Wandering Pirate is a fucking beating, dude. That card is nuts. That best card in the set, right there, man. I'm gonna say it right now. That's easily the best. Well, if not the best card, best foundation. So, okay. But just my hot take on that. But yeah,
Zoslamel might disagree.
Yeah, sure. I know. Yeah, his foundations are really good too. Whatever. But yeah, we're coming up on we're about a half hour in, but whatever. So new topic right here. Do you think the influx of the Soul Calibur defensive pieces? Because I was watching UFSU video today, and it was actually my topic. They talked about how the assets and actions may change the ratios of attacks in the index. Do you think that will happen with how kind of needed how some characters want to run their assets and actions? Do you think the games will slow down by a turn or two, or will people still play the 20 plus attacks in their deck?
I mean, the thing is like, I'm still hearing about lists from people that don't worry about assets and stuff that are, can just throw like 1 billion damage.
True.
I don't know. I mean, I think it depends on what the assets do.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's one of those things where people might want to run it, but if it's not helping them, it's going to come out.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
So, I mean, I could definitely like see decks that want to run these things. I guess if nothing else, it's like maybe we'll actually see people run assets again because, what's been like realistically in the past year, the only 2 assets that I can think of that have like had any like really meaningful impact are Graven Castle Ruins and Swordfish 2.
I'd say Homemade Explosives too as a distant third.
What is it blowing up?
A distant
Swordfish
third. Well, no, it is. It can, and then it's also damage pump and card draw if you need it.
Right.
So it's not a bad card, but like I said, it's a distant third.
Yeah.
Because no one really runs. Only like a couple decks actually run those 2 assets.
So Keenan Meadows with the Homemade Explosives in Pro.
There you go, right there.
Sure.
There you go. Yeah. But
I mean, I think that assets really kind of like, and maybe part of it is just the aggression. It's like that's a card that's just like another card that is gonna like, what are you playing that out turn 1 and like that doesn't help you pass attacks.
No, it doesn't help you win unless you're Bishamon. Unless you're Bishamon.
Yeah. So maybe.
I'm hoping. I hope that because like what's Zhanghua's thing where it gives you like stun and damage, right, or something like that. Like I think her moveset kind of needs that just because it's so unless you're playing Grow and that doesn't matter, but if you're playing her or someone who like revolves around 3 damage moves like a Lilith or whatever. Not that I don't know if Lilith actually needs it, but
I mean, here's the thing. I feel like some of the better assets are almost like the thing is like the better assets like maybe you can like build around.
Sure.
But then you're always running the risk. Like the thing is like if I build around a character, like they can get banged or stopped or whatever, but they come back on. So if I build a deck around like an asset and it gets like blown up, then I have to wait until I find another copy of it. Sure. So like it's always like a little riskier. So
yeah, I don't know. I know like maybe casually people will play the assets more. I figured that.
There's a lot of assets that I could see easily just sort of like throwing in like a copy or 2 because it's one of those things where like when it's out, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
But you don't necessarily have to count on it. And also, like, obviously, a lot of them have good blocks.
Sure. So. Like, Sophitius is like a 1/6, right? The +1 mid, that if blocks...
Honestly, the ones I sort of would think of just sort of, like, tossing in are stuff like Shishio. Like, that just seems like a card that you could just, like, throw. Like, Shishio, to me, is just...
Is that Keelix?
No, Shishio is Mitsurugi's.
Oh, okay, Mitsurugi.
So, like, Shishio to me is just pull my trigger, but it doesn't lock you out of playing Foundations. Sure. And, like, if you're... It's like if you're running, like, stuns and, like, stun attacks and weapon attacks, like, on those symbols, just like throw one in.
Yeah, like I was thinking, whose was it? I was looking at one of them. I built a grow deck and I threw his in there, and I'm just like we talked beforehand. It's like, why play it? I can play Death Charge because I'll get better, like you said, play Death Charge. You get more triggers out of it, and your attacks are bigger.
It depends on the symbol, obviously.
Well, true, of course. Like I'm playing water, so why not play that? But yeah, like Order has like why play his when you can just play homemade explosives so you can counter everyone else's shit? That was my thought. It's like, if I'm playing Order, I'm just gonna play his and play homemade explosives and just be like, well, all your assets don't do crap because they're gone. So yeah, but yeah. So I don't know. I guess we can probably call it a night unless you have anything else. It's a short show tonight. We got just us two and Barrett's gone. Barrett's gone.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be. I guess this is the last PTC before we have Soul Calibur. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because Soul Calibur pre-releases are next weekend.
Actually, give me 1 sec.
Yeah, no problem. Oh man, I'm running the show by myself. I have no idea what to do without a co-host. But anyway, so yeah, the Soul Calibur pre-releases are the 30th and 31st. So check. I think JascoGames.com may have a listing of who's holding pre-releases. If they don't, they should. And then our post up on the Rockford Facebook page, we can probably direct you to where you can find one. Also, don't forget, we have the contest still running until the 30. I think I'm going to try to get the card before the 24th. I'm trying to get a hold of the guys at Jasco to send me the card so we can get it next week, so we can draw it on next week's show, so I can mail it off to you so you can have it before the pre-release, because you're supposed to have it before the set comes out, so hopefully we can get that taken care of real fast. Unfortunately, the one I'm giving away personally won't happen until after the pre-release, because I won't know what I have to give away. So, yeah. But yeah, anywho. Welcome back, Rob. We're glad you're alive. I had to carry the show for 3 minutes by myself. It was daunting and scary, and it should never happen again. Even though I do videos by myself all the time. So, I do have one thing I would like to, I want to try to maybe get on. We could probably, because I had someone ask me if we, on the channel, we don't have a lot of videos on how to play. So maybe we can have a show in the future where we can talk about what you do during your turns, like when you draw, just some quick things for a newer player, like some theory, like what you're looking for in an opening hand, stuff like that. We'll get Barrett on too, because we'll get all three of us. We'll try to nail in some more new player friendly stuff, because the Kenosha guys have
we'll try to do something a little more decisive than it depends.
Well, it depends. Yes, yeah. We'll try to come up with. Well, it depends what your matchup is, but yeah, and then we can go like this, because when Barrett goes like this, we can go like this, like Barrett does his glasses, But yeah, so we'll figure something out for some newer player content, because I know that I want to try to film personally some how to play videos where we actually play the game and show you what to do, like how to make a control check, what a control check actually means, how do you play an action, because lo and behold, we still sometimes don't know how to play actions correctly. Thomas Gordon, But anywho, quick note: I did see the Zero Diff Yoshimitsu thing played the other night in testing.
Oh, is that good?
Yeah, it's really cool. It was awesome. Yeah, it was pretty neat, and it was used offensively, not defensively. So that was pretty slick. So yeah.
What, for the check boost?
Yeah, for the check boost. Yeah, so it was pretty slick. Yeah. But anyway, okay. Well, that's all I got. So I got nothing else. So stay tuned. We'll hopefully be with the PTC winner of the Mountain View PTC. We'll try to get a hold of whoever wins, see if they want to come on. If not...
Yeah, it's just going to be Yari again, right?
Yeah, probably. So, if not, we'll try to find a colorful cast of characters to come on. So, and Bear should have internet by then. So, again, have a good night. Take care of each other. We'll talk to you all later.